Hello, I'm Ron Nutter, and welcome to another edition of Tech Bites with Ron Nutter. Sorry about taking the week off last week, but I had some business traveling to do, so that didn't leave me a whole lot of time to do some of the videos that I had planned for. I did have plans, that just didn't happen. This time, we're going to be working with Android Auto and doing podcasts. Now, this is something that I had tried to do with the Roav Viva and the Alexa interface. Never really could find a happy medium, but I think this is one of the areas where Android Auto really is going to make a distinction, because what I've done, there are several podcast apps out there that integrate with Android Auto, and I was just looking on my phone here. It helps if I go to the right folder. There are several there to work with. I just started picking one and ran with it, and that's Podcast Addict. Now, when we'll see when we switch over to the phone here in just a minute, that it integrates very nicely with Android Auto, so it's very seamless. And that's the whole thing, is you don't really want to have to do a lot of tapping on screen, because with the way Android Auto sets the screen up, it really makes it very easy to handle. But enough having said of that, I'm starting to put the pieces together for Volume 2 of the series that I've been working on. Volume 1's already been out for a while, and thanks for everybody who's been interested in that. I'm working on Volume 2. May have it out by the end of the year. I'm not sure at this point. There's a lot of polishing and finishing I need to do on to get it to where I would like it to be. But hopefully it's been of interest to you. And then obviously, by the way, the videos are being watched and the podcast is being listened to, I'm definitely helping out some folks, and hopefully I can help out even more. If you have ever had any questions, I'm doing my best to get them answered as best I can. There are even more things coming. Been working with some very interesting technology that I want to get a little further along to make sure my understanding is correct. But there's a lot of potential. It's very much of, especially with bringing the smart home to the auto, there's a lot of things there that there's something there for everybody. It's just a matter of where that you feel is best to go for you. I do have a link you can click on to subscribe to this channel. Would really appreciate everybody who can. Thank you very much for those who do. I really appreciate it, because everyone who does is special to me, because you don't have to click on that, and I appreciate that. Also, if you click on the bell notification icon, that gives you a little bit better chance of being notified by Google, and it depends on, or YouTube rather, it depends on what videos you're watching as to how well you get notified. But I've got a backup plan for that. If you click on the subscription, I've got an email list that I'm building, and I'm working on a nice little thank you that I hope to have up and running here within the next couple of weeks. It's basically going to be a section of my first book, that if you subscribe to my email list, and I'm not going to rent it out, I'm not going to sell it, but it gives me a way where I can start building it into the workflow, that I can help you stay up to date on different things with when I post new videos, if I find special deals on things, anything that may be able to help you. And I promise I'm not going to do a lot of selling on it, because I don't like when it's being done to me, and I'm not going to disrespect you all by doing that either. So if I find something, especially it's a time-sensitive deal, even if it's not an affiliate link, I'm going to send it out, because I want to help you save money and get your own smart home further on down the road. Having said that, let's switch over to my Galaxy S9 Plus, and we'll let you see what it's like to get the Podcast Addict up and running. Okay, well, now that we switched over to my Galaxy S9 Plus, let's get the process started of working with podcasts. I'll go into my Drive folder, and then Podcast Addict. This is the one I started using the most. It seems to flow fairly smooth, and you'll see that I've got several things I already watch, and then here's a whole host of things. And this is where you've got to start before really going much of anywhere. So, we'll pick one. Well, StraightTalk Radio. There's a good example. And we'll click subscribe. And then we will go back to not where I wanted to go here. Come on. Go back to podcasts, and if we go down here, now it will hold tap and hold, and then we'll go into custom settings. Now, this is the thing that really helps you kind of keep them organized. And we'll go to edit categories. Now, usually it will display a category there. And this point, we'll just type in demo. And then we'll tap on OK. And so now if we go back to this, you'll see I've now got a demo category. And when I select demo, it's got that. So we're going to do an update. And so you now see all the podcasts. So really this is the part that has to happen first. So now we'll go back to the main screen and just slightly, well, I would say off camera, but we'll say off phone. I'll turn on the Bluetooth speaker that I've got linked into the phone, and you just heard some beam and see now Android Auto has started up. So what we'll do is we'll tap on the little headset in the lower right hand corner here, and this is remembering the last podcast that I listened to. So what we'll do is we'll tap on podcasts, and we'll scroll down here to StraightTalk Radio, and then we just tap it and go on. So there's two separate pieces to this. You first have to set it up within the Podcast Addict, and there's other podcast players out here, but Podcast Addict is the one that seems to have, it's been the most flexible for me. I'll look at the others, but this one really seems to have been able to settle into the way that I'm doing it. So you can see all the different podcasts that are out there. We'll tap into here and we'll go Podcast Addict. That will bring us, well, almost back to the main menu. Okay, and we'll tap podcast. So this is, the menu that you're going to see, and the School of Podcasting. So, and it does keep track. It's hard to see it here, but in the main Podcast Addict app, it does show you what to, what you've been listening to, and if there's new episodes and so on. So really, and that's what I get for not watching things, and I didn't have the mic up and running. But this is really, it's interesting to see the integration, how well that Podcast Addict has worked with Android Auto, because amazingly enough, Google's own podcast app doesn't integrate with Android Auto. I'm sure that's an oversight that will be corrected soon, but Google, you need to get that one running, because that way you can keep them all in one little deal. But anyway, it's an option. There are other ways to do it. Even though there are vehicles coming out now that have the ability to play podcasts from the center console, the problem is you're having to subscribe in a lot of cases at that vehicle. So when you leave the vehicle, all your subscriptions are sitting there. Where if you do it with Android Auto and a phone like this, then it's really very straightforward. In coming weeks, we'll be doing some other videos. Obviously, I've got to be talking about the different map opportunities that are there, which right now it is Waze and Google Maps. We've already talked about Audible. There are other options there that I'm impressed with what I see, and I'm looking at some third-party options. So if you want to take it beyond what the phone has available, I'm looking at one company right now, and I'm trying to find at least one or two more to see what I can do about finding the best option, but giving you a way to integrate Android Auto even further into the vehicle. And in one case is that you do have to get into the dash. So if you're not used to doing it, you may need to look at finding somebody who does that professionally to make that a little bit easier. But there are videos out there, and I've seen for the Honda that I drive, for example, they show you how to get in. But even with that, if you're not comfortable doing it, then don't. Find somebody to do it. But I'm looking at ways to show you yet other avenues for Android Auto, and just make this as versatile as I can, because there's a lot that can be done. So thank you very much for watching this video. I'll be getting back into the regular scheme of things now that I'm back from my travels. And there's some videos that will be coming from those travels as well, because had a chance to really give some of the other pieces, such as Waze, a good run where I was in the car for several hours at a time. And it was interesting to see. So thank you for your time. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. Click on the bell notifications icon. And if you know of anybody who's even thinking about doing something a little bit more with their vehicle, or doing their more about their smart home, or even starting a smart home, please tell them about this channel. I'd really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video.